Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. Today, I thought I would do a fun visualization episode and kind of put myself back into the shoes of somebody that's just starting their business. And I want to walk you through exactly what I would do. I think that this can be really helpful for the people that love more tangible action steps that they can start to take right away, or really visualize maybe what they can do or implement into their business. I know I talk a lot about the intangibles, mindset and manifestation, and really stepping into your highest self, and that is all extremely important. But in case you needed a dose of inspiration towards aligned action that you can take, and specifically what I would do if I was just starting my coaching business, here is what I would take action on and focus on right away. I'm your host, Tiffany Chung, your go-to for all things marketing, mindset, and manifestation. I grew my online business from 0 to beyond 6 figures in 8 months. My purpose is to empower women to step into the highest, most aligned versions of themselves. If you are ready to take charge of your life, learn how to design a wildly successful business, and leave limiting beliefs behind, you've come to the right place. You will learn the actionable tips and step-by-step strategies on money, manifestation, and social media. It's time to step into your role as boss, to raise your vibration and tap into your unlimited potential today. Welcome to the Social Reset Podcast. So, if I am starting to feel called towards launching a coaching business, working with coaching clients in some capacity, and I know that it's for sure something that I want to do, but I have no idea where to get started, the very first thing that I would do is to start taking action in identifying my magic, and not just identifying it, but starting to really build a relationship with it and really see what that magic looks like. So, for example, you have desires and you have a secret sauce that is so monumental to who you are as a person. I have episodes on this, uncover your secret sauce. I have just like so much information about activating your secret sauce, trusting your magic, et cetera, et cetera. So I won't go into all of that right now. But what I would do is really discover what that looks like for me specifically. So if I'm a brand new coach, I really want to start testing this out. And I wouldn't even wait until I had, until I felt official, essentially. I would get started testing out my magic and seeing what this feels like right away. And that might look like starting to talk about it. This might look like starting to let people know that I am open for beta clients. I just want to start putting it into motion. And this is actually the very first thing I did before I even started my coaching business. Was I taught a masterclass on Instagram, and everyone who came to the masterclass, which was paid, by the way, everyone who came, I offered them complimentary coaching sessions. This was before I even knew I wanted to be a coach. I'm sure there's a part of me, right? Like there is a part of you that just knows. And sometimes our biggest lesson is to just trust that part of ourselves. And so I did the class, and I started coaching everybody after the class, and it just became something that I fell in love with and that I truly enjoyed, truly was so passionate about, and couldn't wait to get started. And so from there, I began to discover what I enjoyed coaching on. This ended up being a journey that I have been shifting for kind of the last 2 years. Over a year and a half ago, almost, I made the switch from being a social media coach to a business coach. And now I'm specifically a business coach for new coaches and coaches who have started their business but are not seeing the results that they'd like. When I first started, I was a social media coach for content creators. So I've been coaching for about 2 years, but I did not discover my quote unquote niche until, 2 years later. This is what I want to do, right? And I had to experience coaching and being in that room with my one-on-one clients, with my group clients in order to really discover that. And so know that you do not need to get really clear on who exactly you're serving before you get started coaching. You can have a good general idea, let people know, hey, this is what I have in mind in terms of what I can coach you on. What are you looking for? And if there's something that someone says where you're like, oh, you know what? I can coach you on everything else except for this one thing. Just be honest with them and just be in integrity. That's all you need to do. It doesn't have to be a 100% perfect fit if a ton of things are out of alignment or they're looking to reach a goal that's just completely out of your scope and doesn't even excite you, it's not even something that you want to learn to coach on. Just let them know, hey, I think we're a little bit off base here. Let me try to refer you out if you know someone that could be a better coach for them, right? But you do not have to take on coaching somebody on topics that you are not ready to coach them on. And that's truly the best thing that you can do for the client and for yourself, right? No client wants to work with a coach that is dragging their feet to be there or is not fully excited to be there or does not have the expertise to coach on those specific topics. So that is what I would do is I would start searching for people. I would start posting about what I can coach on. So I might post some teaching type based content. I would share more about myself. I would just get into a consistent rhythm of posting in general so that people are used to seeing my face and knowing what I coach on, at least in that beginning portion of coaching. And I would let people know that I'm available to work with beta clients, and I would start working with beta clients. From there on out, I would hire a coach 100%. I might even hire a coach before I start working with beta clients, but I would hire a coach 100%. I did actually hire a coach in order to help me start my coaching business. I don't think I would have known how or what to do or how to think without working with a coach. And so my first coach was incredible, and he really showed me the path in terms of what my business could look like and really helped me to get started working with clients right away by perfecting sales call conversations or even selling in the DMs, right? When I say sales call, just know that I'm talking about both. You could really just sell in so many ways outside of just doing sales calls, but I really enjoyed doing sales calls, and I thought it was a really great way to grow my business, especially in the very beginning, because it allowed me to have these very intimate conversations with my clients about exactly what they were looking for and how I can best serve them. And it was really powerful in that moment. So working with a coach really helped me to reframe my mind. Everything that I thought about business and attracting money was shifted when I worked with my very first business coach. Working together has been really incredible, and everything that I learned, I now share inside Business Activation Academy, where I offer weekly live coaching every single Wednesday. And this has been extremely powerful because there are things that students will go through in the curriculum and then maybe want to personalize to themselves. Maybe there's specific thoughts that come up. I have my students post sales call evaluations inside the private Facebook group. So once they get off of a sales call, I have them share some things that went well, what they're proud of, what they've learned, what didn't go so well, what would they do in the future. What they want to improve on, and any other coaching that they may need around that sales call, just so that they're not going through call after call after call, getting no's after no's after no's, or yeses here and there. I really want them to feel fully confident and know what's going on so that I can continue to help them and serve them through this process. So that is what I do inside Business Activation Academy, is helping new students through the curriculum to start their coaching business from scratch and effortlessly attract aligned clients. And if you've already started but you're not seeing the results that you want, that's what we work on, is really, really customizing, creating a roadmap towards your goals inside your business, and doing so in a simple, fun, effortless way. So coaching is 100%, I would say, when you are a brand new coach, navigating it on your own can be really tricky. It's not impossible. There's so much that you're capable of doing, and you are fully capable of building a business without having to hire a coach. So I want to make sure that that's clear. I want it to be something that you are excited about doing, excited about investing in yourself, because you also have to be, it has to be consensual, right? You have to be coachable and you have to be resourceful in order for the process to work. However, I would say that if you are going about this on your own and building your coaching business on your own with zero coaching, it could take you months to years before seeing results, where a business coach can look at all of the spaces in between where you aren't seeing, because you're just so close to the business, you're so emotionally attached, that a coach would be able to walk you through. Like when my students come onto Business Activation Academy live calls, I have so much experience through my years of coaching to be able to guide them into the next step. I have so much experience in being able to coach them towards what needs to happen next, or where I can see that they are stuck within a specific thought that they continue thinking that is not serving them, and then start working through and coaching through that. There's so many thoughts that we hold in our brains that hold us back, that we don't even realize are the things that are keeping us from actually attracting and deciding that our success is inevitable. And so I really want to make sure that that's clear, is that coaching is so powerful, but you also really need to be open to it. You need to be coachable through the process, and working with a coach who's gone before you, who knows exactly what it's like to have experienced what you are experiencing as a new coach, and to be able to make sure that you are not repeating mistakes that they've seen, and also helping you to align and uncover your own magic and your own desires. Coaching should never be your coach telling you what to do based on what they think is right. That is more like teaching, more like consulting. Coaching is really helping unearth desires you already have, working towards goals that you set for yourself. I never go into coaching containers or welcome a new student into BAA and tell them, all right, welcome to BAA. Here are all the goals that you need to meet. Like, no, they tell me, and I ask them questions and follow-up questions. I might even ask them, why do you want to reach that goal? What what is that importance of reaching this goal? What do you make it mean? And what would you make it mean if you didn't reach that goal, right? What are you going to do after you hit that goal? And so coaching is really unearthing and uncovering the desires of your heart, which are there for a reason, and to help you discover what aligned action and thoughts get you towards those goals in the first place. So that's really why I see coaching as such a powerful tool, such a powerful resource. And I truly don't think I would have been able to grow my business in the time frame that I did without it. I might still be trying to reach 6 figures right now if I hadn't hired a coach and was able to hit it in the first 8 months of my business, and then surpass 200K within the first year in my business. So truly, truly powerful stuff. All right. So the next thing I would do if I'm working with a coach, I am in some type of coaching program where I am getting coached on a weekly basis or a bi-weekly basis, I am starting to show up. So I would start posting regularly to Instagram. I like Instagram because it's a great platform for everything that I enjoy doing, which is writing, speaking, going live, messaging. It's really a great platform for me personally. If you've already been established in, say, YouTube or Facebook or LinkedIn, and you know that your aligned clients hang out there, and you know the platform, and you know that you're going to be able to stick to it consistently, then choose that. By no means do you have to use Instagram. You don't have to use Facebook. You don't have to use all of them at once. Pick one that works and just stick to it. Keep it really, really simple. The worst thing you can do is try to spread yourself too thin by being on all of the platforms, or, burning yourself out by trying to create, content, over and over and over. The best thing that you can do is to choose a platform and be consistent with it, because you know that it's something you can keep up with, whether it's a weekly email, 2 or 3 Instagram posts a week. And really, when it comes to Instagram content, allowing yourself to just share whatever comes to mind, right? Trusting that what you have to share is valuable, and really getting into a rhythm of sharing your thoughts and your concepts, your ideas, your clients' wins, testimonials, ways to work with you, making offers in your business, inviting clients into your one-on-one containers. It's such a great way to connect with your clients and your potential clients, because this is such a great way to be seen in your business. And when you allow yourself to be seen, when you allow yourself to show up in a way you've never shown up before, like maybe you've never done live videos, or you've never hosted a masterclass, and you're stepping outside of your comfort zone, you're being seen by more people, it becomes less scary every single time, and you reach the people who really need to hear your message. So that's the next thing that I would incorporate into my business plan. And again, I want to remind you that this is not by any means like a strict protocol that you need to follow, right? Like I mentioned in the intro, there's so many ways of becoming successful as a coach, like so many ways, so many to a point where someone will say that they did one thing, and then you will hear a completely opposite business plan or strategy that got someone else success that literally goes against what somebody else is teaching. So the way that I teach my students is that there isn't a perfect strategy. There's only the strategy that you decide is perfect, that you decide is right for you. So then what I do is help my students to discover what do do they want to build? What works with their energy? What works with their schedule? Maybe they're a single mom. Maybe they're in college still. Maybe they're working a 9 to 5. And so their schedule and their definition of a fully booked coaching practice might look different than someone that doesn't work a job, that doesn't have kids, right? So every single person's life and lifestyle looks different. One of my students would love to live a lavish lifestyle where they can truly invest in luxury products and things that just make them feel so beautiful and sparkly, and new clothes and a new car. And another one of my students can want a really peaceful, maybe a home in the countryside where they don't really have a ton of things, but they have enough to be able to meet the bills and have money that goes into savings, or maybe money that they send back home to their family, and really be able to keep things running and afloat. And that's what makes them happy. A simple, quiet, inner, a small inner circle in their life. Or maybe for someone else, they want a big chunk of their money to go towards supporting causes. Maybe they want to start their own nonprofit. I know that I am in the process of building out what could be a nonprofit for the future. And so maybe their money goes towards that, or maybe it goes towards helping with their family's bills, right? Every single person has different goals and has different aspirations. Just like we all have different energies. Like if you have looked into your human design, even your astrology chart, your natal chart will show you that you are so different than your brother, your sister, your best friend, your mom, the people around you, right? We all have such different ways of valuing the things in our lives and our energies and the actions that we want to take. Someone might love showing up on live and shows up every day. Like me, I typically go live every single day on Instagram, Monday through Friday, sometimes on weekends. And it doesn't take anything out of me. I've been doing it for years. I've been recording videos for years. I have a YouTube channel, or I should say I had a YouTube channel. I'm not really so much prioritizing it right now, more prioritizing Instagram, but going live for me doesn't really take much out of me. I can do it like 2 times a day and still, have energy for recording podcasts and posting content and meeting with my clients and whatnot, right? That's not always the case. There are some weeks where I do feel like I need to rest a little bit more if I'm on my period, or if I'm maybe having a rough week, or whatever it might be. But typically I have the energy to do that. And I also love speaking. I love to talk. I love to share content through speaking. I never prepare for lives. I never prepare for podcasts. I just turn on the microphone, and whatever I want to say, I just let it channel through me, and I don't second guess it. So I just allow myself to do that. So for you, maybe you don't like going on live. Maybe you are open to exploring it and trying it, but maybe what you really love so much more is writing content. Maybe giving yourself the ability to edit and revise and send out when you'd like to gives you the freedom to really say what's on your mind. And maybe speaking, especially if you're on live, just really puts you in a lot of pressure, or maybe it is a lot for your neurodivergent brain. So there's just so many things. There's like so many things that make someone very different, and there is no one way to do it. So I would never say something like, you've got to do a master class every single month, and you've got to teach it and promote it and create all this content around it, and you've got to get this many people on, and you have to sell on that master class. Like, I would never say that to as a blanket statement to all of my students, because what if their way of selling is through their incredible email list, because they write amazing emails that everyone in their community loves to read, and that is the way that they sell. That is the way that they attract most of their clients. Or maybe it's inside a Facebook group that they treat like it's almost like it's a paid group where someone shares posts and like journaling prompts and connects back and forth with their students. Maybe they even do like live series or offer, freebies or workbooks and whatnot inside that Facebook group. And that's the way that they sign their clients, right? So I just want to remind you that there's no perfect business plan. There's no perfect strategy. I would say that your thoughts when you are taking that action is more important than the action alone, right? So if you are telling yourself this is working, this is the most powerful thing I can do for my business, I am committed to showing up, people love what I have to say, right? If you are holding those thoughts, the action is just simple, right? Choose simple and choose whatever feels good to you. So for me, someone who loves speaking, if I was already working with a coach and I was reaching out to beta clients, maybe I'm working with one beta client currently, I would start to go live frequently and maybe host a live masterclass, because that sounds fun and exciting and desirable for me to lead and to host. And then from there, I would start to really envision where I see this program going. I would start to look at and take feedback in on where I see that I enjoy coaching on specific things, where I don't enjoy coaching on specific things, who I enjoy coaching, and why I enjoy coaching them. For example, when I first started coaching, I was coaching content creators because I was a content creator. I was an influencer working with brands. I had monetized my platform and I was not making like a full-time income or anything by the way. It was just like, it was truly a side hustle. I would have loved for it to be full-time, but I had a day job. And so it was something that I did part-time. And so where was I going with this? So when I started coaching, I worked with content creators because that's pretty much everyone that was following me. Everyone in my community were content creators. And I quickly realized that I didn't actually like coaching content creators at all, right? So this is someone who just creates content for Instagram, doesn't have a business necessarily, does not coach anyone. I found that they were flakier. I found that, it was just not enjoyable for me to coach content creators on creating content and partnering with brands. Like, I just truly didn't enjoy it. And I'm sure I could have changed my thoughts about it. I'm sure I could have changed my mindset and grown to maybe enjoy it and create profitability through it. It was actually very profitable. But I truly just in my heart didn't love it. I kept becoming drawn to business owners. At this point, it wasn't necessarily coaches, but a lot of them were coaches. And then I was like, oh my goodness, coaches. Every coach that came to me was so ready to invest in their business. They were so serious about taking it to the next level. They were so excited, and I was excited for them, right? So it's not necessarily that, I picked the wrong niche to start off with and, I should have started with that. It's not that. It's just that I really, truly didn't enjoy it as much as I enjoyed coaching coaches. And so from there, I really allowed myself to think about, what would it look like if I were to coach coaches? And I started just falling in love with that idea and allowing myself to play around with, creating content for coaches. And I didn't have any coaches in my community at this time. But the more that I thought about it and showed up and spoke to coaches directly, the more coaches started following me. And I just trusted that they were going to find me. And lo and behold, they did. And I built a signature program. At this point, it was one-on-one. that I started to coach coaches through to help them launch their business, which eventually turned into Business Activation Academy. If you are one of my students from way back when, or you've been following me since then, it was Content That Converts, which was a course that was exclusive only to my clients. So they would get access to it and then we would coach through it. Now it's called Business Activation Academy. It's been updated, of course, to align to, what I teach and essentially who I am and more feminine business practices. So that is what I learned. So I would start taking note, not that you're going to get all of the feedback in order to take action right away, but being aware of what are you feeling? What are you thinking? Who do you want to work with? What do you enjoy? This will allow you to not put the client's needs first, but to actually put your needs and your business's needs first. I think so often when we go into freelancing work, we think about, oh my goodness, the client needs this, the client is asking that. And we forget that we started this business in the first place because we don't enjoy being bossed around by a micromanaging manager or boss, and we wanted to go into business for ourselves, but then we let our clients run our lives and our schedule. And so sometimes new coaches will get started, they'll start coaching on something and then don't realize that they get to choose who they want to coach. They get to choose what they want to coach on. So many coaches end up working with nightmare clients because they feel like they need to take on everybody and everything, right? And let their clients lowball them or ask for discounts or give them way too much of their time. And then coaches start feeling burnt out and start wondering, is this even what I want to do with my life? Is this even the coaching business that I dreamt of? And of course it's not, because you are listening to everyone else's needs instead of yours. So that's another thing I would do, is really, really prioritize, what am I enjoying? What boundaries do I need to set? Where is my energy maybe going to places that are not aligned? And how can I align them in a way that makes me feel truly elated and excited and delighted in what I am doing? Okay, so that's really, really important. The next thing that I would do is make offers, and make offers repeatedly. I would post on my stories. I would share a client win and let people know that one-on-one coaching or my program is open, and this is how you can work with me. I have, 2 spots left, and you can book a time with me through the link in my bio, or you can DM me for more information and I will share a voice note. So I would make it really clear exactly how you can work with me, some of the things that you can expect, and how to take action towards it. And I would be repetitive. I would share that over and over. And I would let people know that this is the best way of reaching out and getting access to my brain and helping them to access their own brain. So that is one of the main things I would do. Something else I would do that is more, energetic spaced is I would start introducing myself as a coach. You don't have to have a name or a title when you first get started. God knows I've changed mine so many times, but I would come up with something that feels good. Maybe it's just general life coach, or, business coach, or mindset coach, or just coach, right? I would start introducing to people that I meet, introducing myself to new people that I meet, and say, hey, I'm Tiffany. I am a general life coach. And that's what I do for work. Or that's the business that I am creating, or that I have created. And really being in that power, and even just thinking the thought of I am a coach, I am a coach, I am a coach, I'm a coach, it sounds really unglamorous and unsexy, but is actually, something that can really help you to step into that version of yourself that is a coach and that is, so is so ready to take this on as your identity. So that is something that I would start doing as well. And another mindset thing, I would really start to detach myself from results in a way that I would allow myself to feel my feelings and to experience showing up and just making room for trial and error. I realize that we see a lot of money milestones that people share on Instagram and can often feel like we need to get there as soon as possible. And when you're first starting your coaching business, I want you to realize that that is possible. It's not that it isn't possible, but being detached from it in a sense where you're focused on growing your skills as a coach, and allowing yourself to be so good at coaching and so good at creating results for your clients that you show up as this coach that isn't so focused on a quick, flashy, one-time month revenue goal, but more so creating a very sustainable and effortless way of showing up in business as a whole that gets you bigger money goals, down the line. So it's really more about the long game and that delayed gratification rather than the quick wins that sometimes we want to experience just because that is what we feel like we need to do in order to be a good coach. So those are things that I would start reframing is, what does a good coach even mean? What does that look like? What does that feel like? What would I, what do I enjoy as the things that I'm most excited about in my coaching business, and how can I do more of that? How can I create more boundaries within my business so that I really focus on the joy? And truly, I think that if you are showing up, creating content, creating some way for your clients to learn from you and to hear from you and to see your face, like a video, a live stream, some way of connecting with you and doing that in a consistent manner and making invitations for people to work with you, sharing your thoughts, your opinions, your values, and really shifting those mindset reframes, believing that you are a coach and that your success is inevitable and that you get to create whatever it is that you want in your coaching business. I truly think that this is going to be monumental in you building a successful coaching business, not just one that's successful for a month so you can post it on your stories or tell your parents so that they'll finally get on board with what you're doing, which is so normal, right? So normal. But to really build a truly solid foundation and a truly sustainable business plan that is simple and effortless and easy and allows you to build the lifestyle that is in alignment, that is congruent to what your goals are and what you want to reach inside your business, inside your life. All right. I will leave you with this. Again, there is no perfect way of going about this. And we have seen different business owners do things in different ways all the time. As long as it's something that feels aligned to you and does push you outside of your comfort zone a little bit in a way that is a good kind of stretching you. I truly, truly want this to be a journey that you look towards rather than anything that you may feel like you need to achieve in the moment. So know that entrepreneurship is the long game, and what you make the most of within those first several months, that first year of getting really good at coaching, working with a coach, is going to be so helpful. So if you want to take this work deeper, if you want support, your questions answered, anything that you need coaching on, taken care of, I want to invite you to join Business Activation Academy. If you are brand new in your coaching business and you feel like you have maybe made some moves in the right direction, but you still want more clarity, you still want someone to be able to guide you, someone who's been through it before, and growing with a community that are all new coaches celebrating their very first wins, like booking their first clients, working towards their first 5K month, or booking their first 4-figure client, raising your prices. When is the best time to raise your price? What is the best one-on-one offer I can create? How do I get potential clients on sales calls? What do I say on those sales calls? All of those questions are answered inside Business Activation Academy, which is an online course that you get lifetime access to, and you get lifetime access to weekly live coaching calls that happen every single Wednesday, where you can come and bring whatever you need coaching on, and I will customize the coaching to your business, to your energy, to the way you want to show up and create fulfillment inside your coaching business. So I would love to see you on the inside. You can go to tiffanychong.co/BAA and apply, or you can click the link in my bio on Instagram at tiffanychong.co/ link in my bio, and you can click Business Activation Academy. It's also in the show notes. You can click that link in there that says apply to BAA. And if you have any questions at all, feel free to shoot me a DM at tiffanychong.co, and I would love to chat more about where you are right now in your business and what you want to create, and really help you to show up in a way that feels magical and delightful and attract the abundance that you deserve. All right, I'll catch you in the next episode. Thank you so much for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe. If this episode resonated with you, please take a screenshot, share it on your Instagram stories, and tag me at tiffanychong.co. I truly appreciate interacting with every one of you. Catch you all in the next one.